Okay, so we are looking at the fundamental update for 8th of February 2026. I want you to pay close attention because I'll be giving you all some chart setup at the end of this video to know what you all should expect this week and how we are going to make profit from the market. Now, currently, I'll just go straight to the point. Currently, we are seeing a little bit of, bearish pressure coming in on dollar. And I told you all that dollar is going to be bearish. Why did I say dollar is going to be bearish from this zone? Well, because a lot of factors are, giving us expectation of dollar weakness. For example, the government shutdown, which has already started taking place. I explained this during the week. On Friday, I told you all that NFP was cancelled due to the fact that we had a government shutdown during the week, and they shifted the NFP data to be released next. That's this week, Wednesday, right? Not only that, the Fed are expecting rate cut expectations on dollar. Employment rates are coming out negative, especially in the private sector, which is the ADP sector. And also, we are seeing job opening coming out negative, which means a lot of job opportunity are being closed. And this is leading to a bearish dollar. Now, the only positive news which made dollar a little bit of bullish, which was last week, we saw dollar bullish movement. Possibly last 2 weeks, that was when the bullish movement happened. This was due to the fact that Trump said he's going to put a new Fed chairman, and this new Fed chairman supports rate hikes in dollar. And rate hikes in dollar means that dollar is going to be what? Positive. Dollar is going to be bullish. This was the only reason why dollar became bullish. But this news is a short-term news, right? They haven't put the Fed chairman yet. We don't even know if that's the actual Fed chairman. Trump just said that's who he's supporting. They haven't elected him yet as the new Fed chairman. The Fed chairman which we have on seat now is still Powell, right? And not only that, since the news is a short-term news release, investors have already priced them based on that expectation. And now we are focusing on the current news, or the news in which is going to take place. Like I said, in fundamental, what you should be focusing on, what really move the market is news expectation, not news that have already happened. Do you understand? If we are expecting NFP results to come out positive, dollar might be bullish. Do you understand? If NFP result now comes out positive, the market doesn't really care about that again because it has already happened. So in fundamental, we should be focusing on expectations and not the actual news release. So our expectations is that we are expecting a Fed rate cut on dollar. Not only that, we have government shutdown in the air, and this is making dollar bearish. And we are currently at a key level. We can call this a neutral zone. And now this neutral zone just simply signifies that dollar is going to be weak. Let me check if my this thing is actually recording. Okay, so this actually shows that dollar is going to be weak, and we should be expecting a little bit of bearish movement from here, because this key level might likely hold, but we should actually wait for a confirmation. Now let us go over to the economic data we have for last week and also what we should be expecting this coming week. So let us set this from this to February 14th. Let us do it like that. So last week we had a series of negative data on dollar and also positive data. We had the ISM manufacturing PMI coming out positive. This shows that the manufacturing sectors are doing well, but that's not really investors focus. Investors focus is employment rate and inflation. So we're looking at the main economic data in US, and you can see we had the ADP, that's the ADP private sector non-farm payroll, coming out negative. We also had the unemployment claims coming out negative, which means there are a lot of unemployed people in the economy. That's this current state. We also had job opening, which is job opportunities, coming out negative, which is bad for the economy too as well. And then that Friday, which is the first Friday of the month, we are supposed to have NFP release, but it was shifted due to the government shutdown, just like I said, and that was why dollar was bearish. Now let us also look at a very important one, which is the AUD. Now I told you AUD is very clear. If you were following my fundamental updates by now, if you bought AUD, you should be on good profit. I actually missed an opportunity on this particular AUD, and I'll show you the trading which I missed. But based on AUD is positive. Why? Because we're expecting a rate hike from 3.60% to 3.85%, and that is exactly what happened. I told you, don't trade on the day of rate hike. On this day, the market actually retraced and gave us a little bit of bearish movement on AUD. But what happened next? AUD still picked up. Why? Because they are even expecting more rate hike in the future. The economy is doing really well, and I told you that if there's any pair I am certain about, it is the AUD pair. Let us go to the chart and see the trading which I missed on AUD. Let us look at AUD JPY, and I'll show you the trading which I missed. This was the trade I missed on AUD JPY. You can see after the market came out, right after the news came out that Tuesday, we had a little bit of bearish pressure on AUD. Why? Because I told you after news is being released, most times investors will take profit, right? But then on Friday, all of a sudden, market tapped on this pivoted order block. This is my HPA strategy, and market went all the way to the top. This is like 110 pips if I'm not mistaken. And if I saw this on time, this would have been my entry for this pair. I would have taken the trade from here and all the way, maybe from this other block over here. I wouldn't have gotten stopped out, put my SL here, and this would have been a good take profit to end the week at. But the worst part is that this happened on Friday, and I likely don't trade on Friday. If I haven't seen any entry during the week, I might not even take the trade, and that was one of the reasons why I missed this trade, right? Because on Friday I did not expect the huge volatility to happen. But what am I trying to say? AUD is positive. You can see this is AUD JPY. Let us look at AUD USD. Right, I told you to pay close attention because in this fundamental update I'll be giving you good opportunities that will happen. Now we're already at the key level, right? We are already at a key level, but this key level is still neutral. Why? Because we're expecting the market to break this zone. We haven't gotten a break of this zone yet. You understand? But for now, right, this market is still showing signs that is going to be bullish very soon. So maybe if this pattern should play out perfectly, maybe the market should come back. What I'm expecting, the market should come back, right, and give us a little bit of format here, and then here we should be looking for an entry after a break of structure to the upside. So this is what I'm expecting, because the market is still showing signs of a flag pattern. Do you understand? If we're using price action, this is the sign of a flag pattern. Do you get? So this is what I'm expecting on AUD USD. I'm not saying this is exactly what will happen, but I'm waiting for a confirmation, because this pair is still going to be bullish. This key level is going to definitely hold. And like I said, I showed you all this level, I think last 2 weeks, and what did I tell you all? Do not take an aggressive entry on the key level. Why? Because market likely sweeps liquidity on key level. Now, if you took aggressive entry, hoping that this pivoted order block will hold, you would have gotten stopped out, and you would have learned a good lesson from this. Never take a trade aggressively on the key level. Always wait for confirmation, and that is why I'm actually waiting for a confirmation at this zone, right? So if it should play out, I will definitely long AUD USD, and I'll give out the signal to my VIP signal team. If you want to stay updated with signals, you can easily join the VIP signal team. It's actually $25 for 2 months subscription. You understand? So let's keep going with that. We had GBP AUD. GBP AUD, I told that GBP AUD is going to be bearish, because why? AUD is strong. Anything that has AUD on it, AUD is going to be strong in that. So you can see GBP AUD is still selling massively. I was expecting this level to be mitigated, but market said it doesn't care about that level, and then it just went all the way down. Well, I don't know. Some of my students saw entry, some didn't. I'll tell you, if you saw entry on this pair, keep holding, because AUD is still definitely strong. Another pair in which I would say we should look at, I think we've looked at all the AUD pair, right? Let's just call it a chart on AUD. Let's go to other important news that happened. We've talked about USD, we've talked about AUD. For the Japanese yen, I told you all that Japanese yen is having a neutral reading on fundamentals, but currently we are seeing that Japanese yen is weak, because the yen intervention that happened last 2 weeks, or is it last 3 weeks, has subsided. Nobody's talking about it again. Yen has been weak for months now, and nobody is intervening. No government wants to intervene. We are still having snap election now. Snap election is kind of an uncertainty on on Japanese yen, or on the Japanese economy. Why? Because the snap election just simply signifies that election is going to take place very fast, and whenever election is about to take place very fast, that is not good for the economy. You can see we're having on Sunday, we have lower house election, which is today, and this might affect the market in the sense that when the market open, you might see a huge spike on Japanese yen. Whatever result might come out, we don't know, but we might see a gap if something hot comes out. If something neutral come out, we might not really see anything. So this week, what are we expecting? The most important news on USD is the core CPI. The core CPI is going to actually move the market. So that's if the government shutdown doesn't move this economic data, right? We also have non-farm payroll on Wednesday. That's if the government shutdown doesn't move the data again. And what are we seeing? We are seeing a positive result. We're expecting a positive result on dollar. So that is expectation. Market might price in based on this expectation, but it might come out negative. You understand? So on inflation, which is CPI, we're expecting a neutral reading, which is simply is that is just the most important news for this week. What are my expectations on some pairs? I've shown you my expectation on some of the AUD pairs. We are expecting a bullish ride on AUD. AUD is still going to be bullish. I am so, trust me, it hurts me so bad when I saw that I missed a perfect trade like this. 110 or 120 pips. This would have given me good amount of money, but I missed it. And I told myself that, okay, every Friday I might still be checking the chart since market gave this kind of huge move on Friday. Most Fridays can be filled with manipulation, but not all Fridays are filled with manipulation. I would have just set limits. Maybe I would have just set limits and left the market, because this is also a key level. And I love trading from key levels, right? This is also a key level. But I missed it. I don't like crying over spilled milk. So let's go over the next one. CAD JPY, what are we expecting? CAD JPY should be bullish. Why? Because Japanese yen is weak. I told you all that the Japanese yen is now weak. We should be expecting a bullish move on CAD JPY. I'm not really seeing much entry based on my strategy. My students might be seeing entry. I train them to see entry in different occasions. I don't only teach them my strategy, I teach them a lot of things. So if you're a student of mine watching this, you should know what to do. If you see an entry on any of these pairs, you can take it. You don't have to wait for my call. I don't want my students to be dependent on me. You don't have to wait for my call. If you see any entry, take it based on you. Do you understand? So that's just simply it. Let us look at USD CHF and see if we see any opportunity on the chart. So that's just simply it. So for USD CHF, we might be seeing an opportunity. Let's see. My network might not really allow me. So for 4 hours time frame, we might be seeing an opportunity. 4 hours time frame. I'm still waiting for the market to tap on a key level. I don't like trading far from a key level. I don't know. To me, that's just how I work. You can see this trade. This was the last trade I took on USD CHF, and it was from a key level, and it played out perfectly. If I kept holding, I think I kept holding all the way to this level. Yeah, that was where I ended the trade. It was actually this level I ended the trade, and I made good amount of profit from that market. I didn't try entering after that. If I wanted to take another entry, I would have entered when it came back to this key level again. That would have been another good entry. And you can see once markets come back to a key level, is a good position to hold that trade for a very, very long time. So now you can enter this trade here. Let me just teach you why key levels are important. You can enter this trade here, and all of a sudden the market will come back to that key level and respect it, taking you out in the process. Do you understand? So that is why key levels are very important. You can enter this trade here now, right? And let's say you want to sell. You can enter this trade here out of rush and start selling. Market might give you profit, and all of a sudden, from giving you profit, still come all the way back to tap on this key level and take you out to sell massively. So that is why I love selling or like buying from key levels, because key levels are zones in which market might likely respect. Do you understand? So that is just simply it for Euro USD. Let's look at Euro USD. Euro USD was one of the pairs I looked at this week, and unfortunately there was no volatility for me, and the market did not move in my direction. Rather, the market was just ranging, but I feel like the market will still move in my direction this week. Now, Euro USD is currently at a key level, and my advice for you is you should know how you trade this. Do not just take any trade randomly. Understand? Wait for a good confirmation. Let's see if my network will allow me to look at Euro USD. Let's see. Come on, network. Let's go. I don't have time for this. Okay, so let's see if my network will allow me. So Euro USD, I'm just predicting a buy. I want to show you all that Euro USD is currently at the key level, and if market should respect that key level, we should be expecting a buy from there. You understand? So that is just currently it. I might share an image of Euro USD on my Telegram channel. I will keep you all updated on what is happening in the chart in my Telegram channel. So if you are not in the Telegram channel, do well to join the channel, right? There'll be a link in the description below this video. If you also want to contact me on WhatsApp, you know how to do that, right? So let's go and see if Euro USD will give. Okay, yes, so let's see. This is currently a key level, right? I love this key level. Is already showing signs that it's going to hold, but it's still neutral. I got an entry, but all of a sudden markets came back to sweep me out. But we have seen that the market has given us, based on 4 hour the market has given us kind of a break of structure here. I don't know if this is a valid break of structure, but if market should give us a retracement, right, there might be an opportunity to buy Euro USD there. Trading view have just been misbehaving currently. I don't know if it's only me or if it's other people that have been using it. Maybe because I used to I usually pay for subscription almost every month for this, and I'm having issue on it. I don't know if it's my subscription, but let's see. This is a good entry based on order block, and this is a good break of structure. Now this was the trade I took on Euro USD last week, and it ended up hitting SL. The market was still ranging. I accepted the loss. It was actually a little one. I have good risk management, so whenever I hit the loss, I don't really care much. So this is the next entry, which is looking valid. I'm not saying you should just buy recklessly. I'm saying if you want to take a trade on Euro USD and you want to take a trade based on this, right, we can see there's already a break of structure. There's already an order block there. This can be called the buy zone, giving you a free signal. This can be called a buy zone, but make sure to use good risk management. Nobody's 100% certain when it comes to trading. Do you understand? If you use good risk management, anything that happens, you can accept it. Do you get? You don't risk everything in your account. So this is simply it for me on Euro USD. I should be expecting an entry here. If the market retraces all the way back there, we can buy the pair. That's if volatility kicks in. But for me, I feel like dollar is still weak, so we should be expecting a buy on Euro USD. Even if it's not here, the buy happens. But very soon, we should be expecting a buy on Euro USD. That is it for this week. I hope you all understood anything. In case you have any question, make sure to ask me. For the meantime, have a lovely week ahead, and remember to use good risk management.